All right, so I'm going to quickly show the derivation of the law of sines, so where it comes from. All right, so here I have a basic triangle, right, and it's just labeled A, B, C. This is not an equilateral, this is not a right triangle, this is just a basic oblique triangle, right? So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to go from my corner across to my side, and I'm going to meet it at a right angle. So now I've created two separate right triangles, and that's really helpful because now I can use my trig functions. Right, I'm going to label this new line that we just created H. Okay, so now we're going to set up our equations. So I'm going to start here with, let's start with A. Okay, so here we have sine A. Opposite is now H. And our hypotenuse is now B. All right, so we're just going to do the same thing for B. Right, so far we have these set up right here. We notice there's something in common, H. That's going to come in handy because we can rearrange these and set them equal to H. Okay, so that's what we're going to do ultimately, but we need one more piece. We don't have any C's going on yet, right? So to get the C's, we would actually need to make another cross section here, right? Let's finish this up and get these set equal to, and then we can come back around for C. I'm going to switch colors. All right. So this is what we have here. Like I said, we're going to turn it around, so we're going to be H equals, okay? And to do that, we just had to bring our B back over to the other side. Same thing. Okay, so all we did was rearrange them so they're both equal to H. Now we're going to set them equal to each other. Made a little mess up. I put my equal sign in the wrong spot. All right, so since H is equal to H, we could set these two equal to each other. That's what we've done here. Okay, now this doesn't quite look like our law of sines yet, does it? It's getting there, but not quite. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of this part. All right, so since we want to divide by the same thing on both sides, we're going to divide by both A and B, right? Because that's going to take care of it over here, and that's going to take care of it over here. But you'll see we already have this on top, so it cancels. Okay. Now, why do we use AB instead of just B or instead of just A? Because over here, if we divided by just B on both sides, we'd have a B over here, and we wouldn't have anything over here. Our A wouldn't have been taken care of yet. Okay, it just add an extra step. We'd have to do them separately. It's easier just to do them together. Okay. Now this should look familiar. This is your law of sines. Only piece missing, like I said, we didn't set up those C's yet. We would just do the exact same thing, okay? We would draw the same exact triangle. Only difference is, instead of coming from C, we would need to come from either A or B, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you that real quick. Let's see if I can make my triangles look the same. That is not an easy feat. Close enough. Okay, so we're all set up. Same thing. Now I'm going to come down with my cross section here. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm just chopping it so that it meets it with our nice right angles again. Okay, this time I'm going to set up with C. So our sine C, and I got to label this H. Okay, here we're going to come with our opposite. That's going to be H. And our hypotenuse again. And in this case, it is A. Okay, and with our other triangle, we're going to have angle A. So we're going to set up the same exact thing, but it's sine A instead of sine C. Okay. And all right, it's not going to be the same thing as over here, right? Because we cut it differently. So when we're working here, our hypotenuse is going to be C. Okay. Now we're going to follow this same exact process that we did down here. You're just going to see everything duplicated, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again. Hopefully I have enough room to squeeze it all in here. All right, so once again, our H equals H. And we are going to divide. What are we dividing by this time? We got to get rid of an A and a C. So we're going to do AC. Cross out what we have in common. All right. Okay, now we have two separate equations. So all they did to make your law of sines is they noticed, oh, this is the same, meaning everything is equal, right? It's just like up here when we had H equals, and we could set our H's, H equals H, right? So this equals this. It's the same thing down here. Same thing going on. All right, so this is where our law of sines comes from. Okay. And that is how we are able to use sine to solve for values in triangles that don't have right angles. We just made our own right angles, right? And we get this nice, neat little formula that we get to use. Okay?